Most people think mosquitoes are just a summer annoyance. But what if the real problem isn't the mosquitoes outside your home? What if it's something you've unknowingly built inside your own yard? Because right now, without realizing it, your backyard might be doing something dangerous. It could be sending out signals that literally invite mosquitoes in. And if you've been relying on bug sprays, candles, or electric zappers, you've been fighting the wrong battle. Because the real solution isn't inside a chemical bottle. It's growing in plain sight, in the soil, in your garden, maybe even on your windowsill, and most homeowners have no idea it exists. Every summer across the United States, millions of people deal with the exact same problem: itchy skin, sleepless nights, and that constant feeling of being attacked the moment the sun goes down. But here's what's interesting. Some homes get eaten alive by mosquitoes, while others, just a few blocks away, stay almost completely untouched. And the difference isn't luck, it's plants. And once you understand this, you'll never look at your backyard the same way again. Let's start with the most powerful one, citronella. Citronella is the plant most people have heard of, but almost nobody grows correctly. Here's the mistake. Most mosquito plants sold in stores are fake versions that barely work. Real citronella is a strong, grassy plant that releases oils capable of disrupting a mosquito's ability to track humans. Because mosquitoes don't hunt by sight, they hunt by smell, carbon dioxide, sweat, body heat. Citronella doesn't kill mosquitoes. It erases you from their radar, and the best way to use it is to place it near doorways, patios, and outdoor seating areas, not hidden in the back garden where nobody actually spends time. Because placement is everything. But citronella is only the beginning. Because the next plant doesn't just repel mosquitoes, it changes how your entire yard smells to them. Lavender. Lavender is strange. To humans, it's calming, peaceful, almost therapeutic. But to mosquitoes, it's chaos. Lavender contains a compound called linalool, which interferes with their sensory system, making it difficult for them to navigate. What feels relaxing to you feels overwhelming to them. And here's the surprising part. Lavender actually thrives on neglect. Full sun, dry soil, very little watering. In fact, the more people overwater lavender, the weaker it becomes, which is exactly why so many homeowners fail with it. The best places to grow lavender are walkways, porch edges, and window boxes. Anywhere mosquitoes try to enter first. And here's something most people never notice. Mosquitoes don't attack randomly. They follow patterns. Certain areas of your yard can attract 10 times more mosquito activity than others. And most homeowners stand directly in those zones every evening without ever realizing it. Now, let's move to basil, because basil is completely different from most plants on this list. It doesn't wait for you to touch it. It naturally releases aromatic compounds into the air all day long, and those compounds may interfere with mosquito activity nearby, including where they attempt to gather and breed. That's one reason American gardeners love basil so much. It's not just protection, it's useful, it's practical, it's cooking. You can place basil near outdoor tables, kitchen windows, or barbecue areas, because protection only matters where you actually spend time. Now we move into something most people underestimate completely. A plant so common, it's usually treated like decoration, but it's actually a powerful sensory disruptor. Mint. Mint doesn't repel mosquitoes gently. It overwhelms them. The menthol inside mint creates a strong sensory effect that interferes with mosquito navigation. When mosquitoes fly into concentrated mint aroma, they often lose direction completely. But here's the warning. Mint spreads aggressively. If planted directly into open soil, it can quickly take over an entire garden bed. That's why experienced gardeners across the United States almost always keep mint inside containers or hanging baskets. The best places for mint are shaded seating areas, porches, and patios. And as a bonus, you can use fresh mint for drinks while it protects the space around you. But the next plant is where things start getting really interesting, because this one doesn't just survive summer heat. It actually becomes stronger because of it. Rosemary. Rosemary is a survival plant. Hot weather increases its aroma intensity, which means during peak summer, when mosquitoes are at their worst, rosemary is often at its strongest. And here's a trick many homeowners still don't know. If you place rosemary near a grill or lightly burn a few fresh sprigs, the smoke creates a natural aromatic barrier in the air. That's one reason outdoor barbecue areas with rosemary nearby often feel noticeably more comfortable. The best placement for rosemary is sunny patio corners, grill stations, and seating borders. Now imagine your backyard, not as random plants scattered around a yard, but as a defensive system, each plant serving a different purpose, each aroma creating another layer of protection. And we're still not done. Because the next plant changes the game visually. Marigolds. Marigolds are far more powerful than they appear. Inside their oils is a compound connected to pyrethrum, which has been widely used in many insect-repelling products. But what makes marigolds especially interesting is that they don't just affect smell. They also create dense, bright visual clusters that mosquitoes tend to avoid. That's why marigolds work best when planted in groups, along fences, near garden entrances, around vegetable beds, or lining steps leading toward the house. Think of them as a living barrier, a colorful wall that mosquitoes would rather avoid entirely. And now, we reach the final plant. The one that surprised even researchers, catnip. Most people associate catnip with pets, but inside catnip is a compound called nepentolactone, which researchers have studied extensively for its mosquito-repelling properties. And what's fascinating is that it may interfere with a mosquito's ability to follow human scent trails. So instead of simply avoiding you, they lose track of you completely. Catnip is also extremely easy to grow. It handles full sun, partial shade, and most climates surprisingly well. But if you plant it outdoors, don't be surprised if neighborhood cats suddenly start visiting your yard. That's not really a side effect. It's part of the ecosystem response. And when you step back and look at all 7 plants together, something becomes very clear. This isn't really about killing mosquitoes. It's about controlling the environment they depend on. Because mosquitoes are predictable. They follow moisture, heat, scent, and these plants disrupt all 3. Now, if someone asked me where to start, I honestly wouldn't plant all 7 immediately. I'd start simple. Basil and marigolds. They're inexpensive, easy to maintain, and incredibly useful around the areas where people actually gather. Because one of the biggest mistakes homeowners make is planting for decoration instead of planting for function. Now, I want to ask you something. Have you ever noticed mosquitoes always gather in the same parts of your yard? Do you think that's random? Or do you think your environment has been silently shaping their behavior the entire time? And if you could start with just one of these plants, which one would you choose first? Because sometimes, the most powerful protection isn't something you buy, it's something you grow.